Going into the 2025-2026 season, no one was pointing at Palace as a contender for the top four, for the top five, or even the top part of the table. But after months of grit, belief, and underdog momentum, they become the team everyone watches and everyone loves. The story of their surprise season so far, it is just magnificent. But this is about Crystal Palace, the surprise team of the 2025-2026 season. From FA Cup glory in the prior season to a quiet pre-season, the early expectations of Palace were modest. They arrived here not as favourites but as a club with newfound confidence and something to prove. Of course, 2025 FA Cup win. Entering the 2025-26 season, the first season in European competition, the Conference League, winning the Community Shield, momentum carried over. That right there was 2 trophies for Oliver Glasner. The early weeks of the 2026 showed that last season's success was not a fluke. Palace opened with the Community Shield versus Liverpool, a 2-2 draw, and then a penalty shootout win. Henderson saving 2, and they announced that they are here to compete. Then in the league, they took down Liverpool once again, 2-1. In Europe, Palace have made history. Jean-Philippe Mateta scored the club's first goal in the European competition in a 1-0 win over Fredrikstad in the playoff round. That blend of domestic and continental challenge gave Palace an early belief. They belong on this level. Momentum was building as the season unfolded. What made Palace dangerous was how they combined consistency with adaptability. They remained hard to break down, especially early in the games, a hallmark of Glasnow's defensive structure. In the first 7 matches, across all competitions, they were unbeaten. Of course, Everton has changed that now. But under data shows their underlying metrics are healthy. Their XG profile suggests chances created are in line with the results, not flukes. But more than that, Palace have shown resilience in adjusting to different opponents. They press judiciously, they protect their backline, and they exploit wide transitions when chances appears. Every surprise seasons need heroes. Palace have several rising at the moment. Jean-Philippe Mateta, he is not just scoring, he is anchoring the attack. The team in general. His European goal was a landmark moment, but his ability to occupy defenders and convert chances in is giving Palace a forward threat that they have lacked. Sarr continues to carry the attacking load. His goals and movement help stretch opponents, creating space for others. Wharton, the young midfield general, is another name turning heads. His passing range, spatial awareness, and willingness to take responsibility have made him one of the surprises of Palace core. Mark Guéhi and the defense. Interest from Bayern underscores how well Mark Guéhi has performed. Of course, we already know that he was on his way to Liverpool at deadline day. Palace defensive solidity is not just a situation or a fluke. Clean sheets, well-timed intentions, and consistency are making the backline a real asset. Also in the fantasy Premier League circles, Guéhi's contributions in goals, assists, and clean sheets have made him a standout pick. So if you are doing fantasy, you know what to pick. Together, this group is giving Palace a balance. You just can't shut down one threat. Multiple players can decide matches. When you're talking about the rise, always comes with test. Palace unbeaten run was stretched and eventually cracks appeared in the European match against Dynamo Kiev. Palace recorded a 2-0 win, their first in a main draw, extending their unbeaten run to 19 matches. Goals from Daniel Muniz and Eddie Nketiah. Even with a red card, with Borna Sosa sent off, they held firm. And then, of course, the setback, Everton's defeat. The momentum broke at Everton. A late goal, a 93rd minute goal by Jack Grealish ended their dramatic run. In a dramatic fashion, might I add, a 2-1 loss. Palace had dominated early, but could not hold. Glasner pointed to fatigue lingering from the European exertions and insufficient output up front, inefficiency up front. That defeat is a reality check. Miracles are fragile, and consistency is the real test. As of now, Palace sit at 6th in the Premier League. They have gone up. They have got mixed cup runs. FA Cup eliminated in the 3rd round. EFL Cup 4th round exit. And in the Conference League, currently in the league phase. The largest win so far is 3-0 at Aston Villa. Their largest loss, 2-1 at Everton. Top goal scorers this year is Sarr and Mateta, tied at 4 goals each. The league top goal scorer is Sarr at 3. These stats show a club pushing beyond expectations, yet with clear vulnerabilities. Now, to maintain the surprise, Palace must overcome structural tests. European nights plus domestic demands equals strain. Rotation must be handled intelligently or fatigue will catch up. The key thing about this situation also is retaining key players amid interest. The like of Mark Gahey, their captain, rumored to move to Bayern or Liverpool, is a reminder success breeds attention. Palace must either reinforce or risk losing their identity in the defense. Mental resilience after the defeat. How they respond to that defeat or to that Everton collapse will test their character. Bounce back games will define whether this is a fairy tale or a sustainable rise. And then you look at the European ambition. If they can make a run in the Conference League, it adds dimension, but also risk, balancing ambition and pragmatism. It is a tightrope that Oliver Glasner would have to contend with. So far, the 2026 season has been Crystal Palace's boldest insertion in decades. They have carried momentum from last season into something more audacious. A bid to be one of England's dark horses. It is not complete. It may flatter, but the surprise is real. The stakes are high. The next chapters, big matches, European nights, defensive test, transfer windows will tell whether this season is a glorious outlier or a birth of a new normal. If you like, I can expand. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.